once again for the renegade master. Back 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 once again for the renegade master.
Hello, my renegades, and we are back to Love Island Season 10, Episode 38. And we shall get straight into it because this one is a doozy of an episode, like absolute doozy of an episode. Oh my god, where the hell do I start with this? Where do I honestly start with this one? Because so much shit popped off. So much shit popped off in that night. I'm stunned, like full on stunned. I am mind blown, discombobulated all over the place. So, oh my god, like, shall we just start with freaking the nonsense that is Katie? Let's start with the nonsense that is Katie, because that gal can't keep her mouth shut for nothing. Gal tell you something in confidence that tells me I can't tell you shit. If I want people to know shit without thinking it's coming from me, I'ma tell you. But if I don't want people to know shit, I definitely ain't going to you. Oh my god. That whole fucking toast. I know that she probably didn't mean it in malice, but it came off that way, is what I'm saying. It came off that way, and everyone just looked at her as if to say, really? Like, really, Katie? Really? Even we said nobody knew, and even Zach was like, I mean, she did not. Sorry, I'm messing with my band because I'm still discombobulated. Can't get my words. That's how bad this fucking episode was. The producers are fuckery, like full on fuckery. Jesus. Anyway, right. She did not read the room. She did not look at Molly, because Molly was emphatically shaking her head. No. What are you doing? Shush. Basically, she did not see Molly's expression, and then when she saw Zach's face, Zach was here. Nah, I'm not cheesing to that. At the end of the day. So she basically pissed off Zach royally, and I was thinking, oh my god, is he gonna get mad at Molly, because Molly was the one that told her? Do you know what I mean? So they all go off, and she's like, Katie's all the, oh, woe is me. Next time I'll just keep my mouth shut. I didn't mean it that way, and they all took it that way. And I'm like, well, who told you to egg yourself up and do the cheesing for anyway? Who told you to egg yourself up and speak for two other people, where the one person has told you something in confidence and said that nobody knows? Why would you do that? So then you got Molly and Zach go off and have a chat, and Molly did tell Zach that, you know, it was me, I said to her, but I did tell her not to mention it to anybody else. And he was like, I don't even know why she did that, and nobody knew why she did that at the end of the day. Only Katie knows why the fuck she did that. So basically Katie said, they're saying that Molly didn't tell me it was a secret. She fucking did. She told you. She's not, nobody else knows. What does that mean to you in your brain? Like, seriously? But we ain't told nobody. What does that mean to you? They've kept it between themselves. So why would you egg yourself up then and think it was okay to do a fucking cheers to them or congratulate them when they ain't told everybody else in the fucking villa? That's it, end all and be all. But basically, with them being closed off and that's what Molly wanted at the end of the day. I didn't necessarily hear that he did say the exact words, but I think Molly was saying that it's basically around the fact that, you know, if any other person comes in, then they're not going to be actively seeking them out or flirting with them. They're just going to stay amongst themselves. But as again, we'll see how far and that lasts, because Zach does have a little bit of a wandering eye at times. And as I said, at the moment, there's been no bombs and bombshells thrown into the villa at the end of the day. So we shall see what happens tonight, won't we, when the next episode comes. Yeah, Abby and Scott have their conversation, and of course Scott pulls Abby up in regards to the little shade that she threw and wanted to know where it came from. And Abby just told him straight point blank that it was something that she had in the back of her mind. It's something she was thinking about. So basically he turned around and said, like she did mention the fact that, you know, they didn't really talk when he was in the villa, and he turned around and he said he would have done it a lot quicker once he deaded things off with Kath. I'm like, my dude, you know for a fact that you don't talk that way. You know for a fact that you don't talk that way about deaded things off with Kath. No, it sounded weird coming from his mouth. I'm gonna be honest and I'm gonna say it sounded weird coming from Scott's mouth about the deaded business, because I know pure and simple. I don't know him personally, but you know what I'm saying, that word probably has not been used by him except for in the villa, because he's listening to Zach talk, he's listening to Montel talk, he's listening to Ty talk, he's listening to Elam talk and how they converse with each other. But I will say, from the last episode when all of them lads were talking, and they were talking about Mitch and his snaky ways and the words and how they were talking to each other, was Scott looked lost. Like he looked lost. He looked lost, like completely lost. And when I say it's kind of like a Black British thing, when we all get together, we start talking, it's kind of like in little code words and this, that and the other. If you're down with it, you're down with it. If you're not, you're not. But most people will know what I'm talking about. Like when black people get together, it's just a whole different type of vibe. And I know Zach is not black, but at the end of the day, it seems as though he's been hanging around within that community for quite some time, because him pick up the lingo and everything. But when the camera panned to Scott, I think this was after movie night when they were talking about Mitch's sneaky ways, he looked confused. So that tells me that in Scott's everyday vocabulary, he won't use the word deaded. It just sounded weird coming from his mouth. That's all I'm going to say on that. That is all. Anyway, so basically he was asking her if she could see a relationship between her and Mitch outside of the villa, and she said yes. She said basically in reality she does see a future for her and Mitch. You would have thought that would kind of cool Scott's turbos down a little bit, but no, it did not. It continued. It did continue, where they were laughing and giggling and, you know, all the rest. And it moves on to like Heidi and Molly having that discussion after the fucking terrible fucking congratulations shit that Katie ever did. And basically she was trying to tell Molly that there's no bad intention. She didn't do it with no bad intentions at all. She just thought it would be nice. She didn't realise everybody was gonna go gung-ho at her. So Molly was saying that it's pretty obvious that, you know, they're kind of closed off to each other, but they haven't basically said those words exclusivity with each other at the moment. It is, as I said, it was the agreement that, you know, if anybody came in, they will not be actively flirting with that person, seeking them out to speak to them. And if they tried to speak to them, they'd basically brush them away and say that they're with each other in that sense. And then it kind of pans to Zach chatting to the lads, which was quite interesting, to be fair. And Ty was asking the questions that, you know, you're closed off and you're not telling, man. But Zach's face was like, not necessarily closed off. They're not necessarily closed off. He hasn't said them exact words, but, you know, he basically said that Molly was like, you know, claiming her territory. That's what she was doing. So I'm like, so do you have that agreement with Molly or not? Because you're both saying two completely different things at the moment. You're both definitely not on the same page here. So are you closed off or not closed off? That's what I was trying to understand. So basically Zach was saying that he was surprised by the speech that Katie had put forward, and he said that he would keep the boys in the loop in regards to what's happening between him and Molly in that sense. And basically overall he was kind of indicating that he's a closed off man. But as I said, if you guys can tell me anything differently, then please let me know. But from what I was seeing and listening to, it didn't sound like he was like saying, yeah, I'm that dude, I'm closed off, it's just me and Molly now, do you know what I mean? So we'll see as time goes on. We shall see as time goes on how that goes between them. So then you see Mitch grab Molly for advice. And I'm like, Ross, you grab Molly for advice though, Mitch, is that you? But then saying that, Mitch has been through the same thing with Molly, and he did the wrong things with Molly in trying to keep Molly away from Zach. So basically he's saying to Molly that it's fine for Scott and Abby to get to know each other. Mitch, we know it's not fine. Mitch, we know it's not fine. We can see it all over your motherfucking face that it's not fine that Abby gets to know Scott. We can see it because you're having flashbacks to the time that Molly decided to get to know Zach. And what happened there. You don't want the same thing to happen again. You don't want old boy to come in and sneaky gal. That's what you don't want at the end of the day. And it's a possibility it may happen because you ain't locked things down with Abby in the way that you think you have. Basically, Abby is her own person and she's doing her own thing. Reels to Mitch and Abby having a chat. And I know at the end of coming in the middle towards the end of this episode before other shit happened, Abby did have a cry, because basically, even though he didn't like throw it out there, he definitely was giving that girl an ultimatum because he was not happy with the fact that, you know, she had spoke to Scott in his recollection all night and didn't give him 2 words basically. And I'm like, dude, you need to stop doing that. You need to honestly stop doing that. Stop dictating when this girl can go and speak to someone and then has then speak to you. Stop putting time limits on her interactions. She will do what she wants to do. Mitch needs to be secure in himself to, even though he's saying that, oh, I'm not worried, I'm not. You are fucking worried because for you to then put an ultimatum or make this girl feel like shit because she is literally talking to somebody else or getting to know somebody else and is open to getting to know that person, you need to take, Mitch needs to take stock of himself and how he behaves and interacts with girls, because that's the way he made her feel is not on. Like the way he made Abby feel is not on. At the end of the day, she is not beholden to you. At the end of the day, she's interested in getting to know Mitch and she's interested in getting to know Scott, and that's what she's doing. As long as she ain't disrespectful with it, like she's coming to you and she's letting you know things and you're having a talk, but you need to stop putting time limits on the girl, because that's what you did with Molly. That is what you did with Molly. You tried to cause you tried to throw out an ultimatum and it blew up in your motherfucking face. And I'm telling you, you do it again with Abby and it will blow up in your face, because all you will do is push her towards the one thing you don't want her to go towards, and that is Scott. Okay, that is Scott. So all I'm gonna say is Mitch is gonna keep making these same mistakes because he ain't gonna bloody learn from them at the end of the day. But yous lot can let me know what you think on Elam and Kath. And then it was a turnabout in regards to that, because Elon was trying to preempt some type of shit in terms of, like, if someone was to come in that he really is in with her but doesn't want that dynamic to change, because if someone's coming then he may want to get to know that person but doesn't want it to change with her, and it caused the whole motherfucking ripple effect, like in terms of getting her upset and stuff like that, to the point where he had to then go back and basically lay down what he meant. And I'm like, yeah, you preempted your own motherfucking demise. It goes back to Abby and Scott, and they're getting on like a house on fire, and like Abby's saying certain things that Mitch has said to Scott, and Scott's basically advising Abby that she shouldn't listen to everything that Mitch is saying basically, and she should form her own opinion in that regard. And basically, as I said, Abby goes back to Mitch and tells Mitch what Scott said. And I said, this is what I'm talking about. This is exactly the type of little behaviour that I talked about in the other episode, wherein I think Abby's playing a little pick the other one against the other type of game. I don't know how far she's going to get with that. At the moment, it seems to be working. Because you got her telling Scott what Mitch has said, and then she telling Mitch what Scott has said. And I'm like, nah man, that shit can't work. And that's where Mitch then decided to nip it in the bud and tell Scott basically, right, if you're getting to know Abby, you get to know Abby, but don't bring my name up in that situation at all. There's no justification for you to be speaking about me at the end of the day. If you want to get to know, but stop talking about me. And he was right on that. He was right to say that to Scott, and Scott appreciated that and said, yeah, I won't do it again. Because at the end of the day, if you're getting to know someone, why are you then trying to downplay the other person that they're actually getting on well with, that they actually can see themselves being with outside of this villa? Yes, it's a fucking kick to your motherfucking ego because you want to be top dog in all of this and you want Abby to then in turn get rid of Mitch to pick you. But at the end of the day, you don't literally have to keep putting down Mitch in order to get what you want in that sense. So if you're getting to know the girl, get to know the girl, but leave Mitch out of it. The same with Abby though. If she's getting to know Mitch and she's getting to know Scott, stop going back and forth. Stop going back and forth and telling little stories outside of school, because it's kind of really like playgroundish, childish type behaviour at the end of the day. And you like all know how I feel about that type of behaviour when it becomes childish as fuck. And that's what Abby's doing at the moment, in my opinion. But you like let me know what you think. So she, I think, finds it exciting to talk to Scott because Scott is literally pursuing her in that sense. As she said, she likes the grafting. She likes someone to graft her. The words that these people come out with is beyond me. But hey ho, I know what she meant by someone grafting. Like you get on, you do what you need to do, you work for it. So basically, she likes the fact that he's working for it, whereas Mitch is becoming a little bit complacent and thinking he's got Abby in the bag, when actuality, no. Just because you've got the person there, you need to actually still compete and show this person that you want them there for the long haul, basically. And that's where Mitch gets a little bit lost in the sauce, if you get my meaning. But as again, you like let me know what you think. So, and as we start concluding and coming to the end of this episode, the fuckery that is the text comes in, and it's read out that the public have been voting for the most or the least compatible islanders. And basically, they said that the least compatible islanders was Kath and Elam. And what the fuck happened? They got Dashware. They got through off the bloody island. That was a hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no motherfucking more. They were gone. Gone. I was like, no. I was like, and this is what got me frustrated to hell and back, was that people were not voting on whether that they were compatible at the end of the day, because they were very compatible, Kath and Elam were. What they were voting on is getting rid of Kath because they saw Kath did Scott dirty. That's the only reason why them two have got thrown off the fucking island and got the least amount of votes in compatibility, is because viewers wanted to get rid of Kath. Ain't no two ways about it. Viewers wanted to get rid of Kath, and that was the only way that they saw themselves doing it. Because if they really were voting on which couples are compatible, Kath and Elam would not be at the motherfucking bottom. Let's just put it that way, because they get on like a house on fire, to be fair. But as I said, this is what I said about Elam. He plotted his own motherfucking demise with what he was doing and what he said and how he was going on. I was like, oh my life. Like my life. Just dash them. Just like, boop, you're gone. I was like, shit. That was savage. Nah, that was hell. That was savage. That you could tell me that was savage. Shit. I was like, Rotida. Now you even get time to finish a drink, but you're gone. Now you even get time to finish your sentence, but you're gone. Jeez. That was a doozy. That was an absolute doozy. And now it's gonna happen again. It ends just as the next text rings in, and then I have to talk about who is the most who is gonna be thrown out at the three bottom ones, which was, I think, was Uzi and KD, Jess and Sammy, and Montel and Leah. And then we see that there's going to be a bombshell coming in, Josh and Ella. But I suppose we'll learn more about that in the next episode. But I just can't wait to get to tonight's episode, man, and see who goes. I'm like, what? I think Uzi and Katie should go, to be fair, because Jess and Sammy, and Leah and Montal have been long standing, but I think because of the bullshit that is Montal, people might just dash him way too with Leah. I'm just like, oh, he's a savage, just savage than a motherfucker. Like, but that's where I'm gonna leave it there. And I shall be back. Oh, that was a lot. That was honestly a lot, but I shall be back. So please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification button, and I shall see you all soon. Peace out.